Before I ever understood what I wanted from a boy, I knew what boys were supposed to want from me, which seems backwards now, almost cruel, that I was taught how to become desirable before I was taught how to become a person, taught to stand in front of the mirror and look through somebody else's eyes, taught to pinch and pull and compare, taught that my body was not exactly mine, but a proposal I would spend the rest of my life submitting for approval. I was 16 when I ordered a salad for a boy. I wanted the pasta. I can still see it on the menu. Red sauce, too much cheese, the kind of meal that would have required me to stop pretending I was delicate. But he had mentioned liking athletic girls, and I had already decided that hunger was unattractive. So I ordered leaves and dressing and sat across from him performing the kind of woman I thought a man might keep. He told me I was different. That was all it took. One sentence, and suddenly the emptiness in my stomach felt like an achievement. I went home that night, stood barefoot in the kitchen, and ate cereal over the sink, so nobody would hear the bowl touch the counter. I remember being happy that he liked me. I remember being hungry. At the time, I did not understand that those two things had become the same feeling. That is how it begins for many women. It is rarely one grand betrayal. It is 1,000 quiet corrections. Lower your voice, pull down your skirt, pull up your shirt. Do not text back too quickly. Do not wait too long. Care, but never enough to frighten him. Be intelligent, but leave him room to explain things. Be beautiful, but act surprised when someone notices. Be confident, but never so confident that a man begins to feel optional. So you begin watching yourself. You watch yourself laugh. You watch yourself eat. You watch yourself enter a room and wonder which version of you would look best leaving it with somebody. You become the audience and the performer at the same time, and there is no intermission, no private place backstage where you are allowed to loosen your stomach, wipe off your face, stop smiling and admit that you are tired. Even your joy gets inspected. Was I too loud? Did I talk too much? Did my stomach fold when I sat down? Did I look desperate? Did I look cold? Did I look like someone a man could love without having to explain me to his friends? After a while, the questions no longer sound like questions. They sound like your own voice. And that is the frightening part. The world does not have to criticize you anymore because it taught you how to continue the work alone. You carry the judge home, you give her a seat beside the mirror, you let her examine every photograph before you decide whether the day was beautiful. She remembers what every man has ever said about women and uses it as evidence against you. She removes your loudness, your appetite, your anger, your need, and calls the remaining silence feminine. Then somebody chooses you, and you think, finally I did it correctly. But he reaches for the version you created to survive the choosing, and something inside you stays untouched. He tells you how easy you are to be around, and you want to cry because being easy has cost you everything difficult and alive. He says he loves that you never ask for much. You smile because you have no idea how to tell him that you ask for everything when you are alone. This is the part no beauty advice prepares you for. You can be wanted and still feel abandoned. You can lie beside someone who says you are beautiful and wonder why the words cannot find you. You can receive the love you redesigned yourself to earn and discover that it has been delivered to the wrong address. So what do guys look for in girls? Anything, everything. Whatever reminds them of safety. Whatever gives them status. Whatever resembles their first love or repairs what their first love damaged. One man wants softness. Another wants a woman who enters the room like weather. One is drawn to independence until she disagrees with him. One thinks he wants innocence when what he really wants is control. One wants someone to rescue. One wants someone who will rescue him. And somewhere among all of them is a man mature enough to understand that a woman is not a collection of features placed here for his selection. There's no answer because men are not one person. There is no perfect body they have all agreed upon. No personality guaranteed to prevent betrayal. No amount of beauty capable of turning an unkind man gentle. You cannot starve yourself into security. You cannot become agreeable enough to stop someone from misunderstanding you. You cannot spend your whole life guessing what another person wants and still have enough life left to discover what you want. And I know, woman to woman, that hearing this does not immediately repair anything. I know you may still turn sideways in the mirror tomorrow morning. You may still delete the photograph everyone else loved. You may still meet a man and feel the old machinery awaken inside you, measuring, adjusting, whispering instructions. Healing does not always arrive as confidence. Sometimes it arrives as exhaustion. Sometimes you simply become too tired to keep hating yourself with such discipline. That is enough for a beginning. You do not have to wake up tomorrow and adore every part of yourself. That is another performance, another impossible standard dressed in kinder language. Start smaller. Stop treating your body like an apology. Let yourself appear in photographs you did not approve. Finish the sentence after someone interrupts you. Say that something hurt without turning it into a joke. Admit that you care. Order what you wanted before the room convinced you to want less. And yes, improve yourself. Look honestly at the jealousy you keep calling intuition, the cruelty you defend as honesty, the walls you built and named independence. There are things within all of us that need attention, but there's a difference between growing and disappearing. Growth should make your life larger. If every improvement requires another piece of you to go missing, somebody is building a woman for their own convenience and using your hands to do it. You are never supposed to be convenient. You are allowed to take time to understand. You are allowed to have an appetite that cannot be made adorable. You are allowed to be brilliant in a way that changes the temperature of the room. You are allowed to be tender after tenderness has embarrassed you. You are allowed to leave a man disappointed if keeping him pleased would require you to disappoint yourself every day. I wish I could return to that restaurant and sit beside the 16-year-old girl studying the menu like it contained the answer to whether she deserved love. I would not tell her she was beautiful. Too many people had already taught her that beauty was the price of admission. I would tell her she was hungry. I would tell her hunger was nothing to be ashamed of. I would tell her the boy across the table was only a boy, not a jury, not a god, not the final witness to her worth. Then I would call the waiter back. She wanted the pasta, let her have the pasta. Let her take up the table. Let the sauce stain her shirt. Let her laugh with her mouth full and discover that embarrassment does not kill you. Let the boy like her or let him leave. There are worse things than going home alone. You could go home with somebody and still leave yourself behind. I spent years asking what guys looked for in girls. Now I think about all the women standing over kitchen sinks, feeding themselves after dates on which they pretended they were not hungry. And I want to tell them that love should not require this much rehearsal. You should not have to disappear before someone can hold you. You should not have to become less alive to become more lovable. The next time the menu comes, order for the woman who has to live inside you after he goes home. She has been waiting long enough.